How you doing, folks? Just out and about with dogs at the moment. Had quite a few bad days with man flu, etc. So that's why we've been pretty quiet, but I'm just out and about with the dogs at the moment. I wanted to cover something which I refer to as the training window. I know there's other trainers out there who do it, but when I talk about the training window, it's about when you start your training, keeping that window nice and small. So for argument's sake, when we start loose lead walking, when we start any type of recall, etc., etc., we never come to places like this. We start in the house, we start in the garden, we start in the street. And then as things get better, we then make that window bigger, if that makes sense. So this would be further down the line. Now, we would never expect our dogs to recall straight from here without any training back at the house, the garden, the local street, etc., where there's less competing motivators. So we have lots of competing motivators in here. As you can see, the dogs are having a good sniff there. If I recalled him and then he failed to come, I would have to go there and get him. So when we talk about increasing that training window, this would be further down the line. How people expect to take their dog straight on a lead without putting the foundation work in a smaller window, that is the kitchen, the living room, the house, the garden and the street outside, how they expect to come to a place like this straight away and get their dog to walk nicely on the lead or get their dog to recall is beyond me. You wouldn't expect, now I'll do this in a human term, you wouldn't expect to go to secondary school if you hadn't been to primary school or you hadn't been to nursery or kindergarten, whatever you call it these days. So as I said, a place like this would be massively further down the line. This would be the training window massively opening up. So, when you first start training, keep your window small. That means, as I've said before, in the kitchen, in the living room, practice your lead walking. Practice your lead walking in your garden. Practice your lead walking in the street outside your house. And as I said, the last place I would come to practice lead walking is down here. It frustrates me as a trainer, and I know other trainers are the same, that when people put a lead straight on their dog and they expect them to walk straight away, they take them to the park and everything else. I've dealt with countless dogs over the last few months where people expect too much too quick. Now my dogs are trained on recall, on whistle, etc. There we go, look at that. So Macri is now 11 months old and Uber is 3 years old. And then they get to go again. So you wouldn't expect to get a recall like that without putting all the foundations in. So to give you an example, the training window for both these dogs, you'll see the videos on the platform way back at the beginning when we've got Macri in the garden at 10 weeks old and I'm getting him to chase me about. And I'm rewarding him through a little bit of gameplay with a tennis ball or his own kibble. I'm capturing all the lovely moments. And it's the same with little Uber. I've got videos of way back when he was just a puppy when he arrived in the garden, him chasing me around, him coming to me and rewarding him with his kibble, etc. And you can see the dogs are having the time of their life running around here because I started very small, little and often. The training window was very small, and this is why I can bring my dogs here off lead. They're never on lead up here. Now, what I would suggest you do if you want to give your dog the exercise that you think it needs, rather than walking it round to the park, excuse me, rather than walking it round to the park, okay, I'm just getting rid of this chest cough actually. Throw it in the car, take it round there so it's not rehearsing the pulling behaviours, and then you can let it run round. So I've known of other people that have put their dog in the car and taken it to one of these unleashed parks or off-lead parks, call them what you want, and allow the dog to run round and have a bit of fun. And then that way the dog's not rehearsing pulling behaviours. You can allow the dog to run round in that off-lead area, get stuff out of the system, have loads of sniffs, etc. without the hazard of the dog running off and you not being able to get it back. So think about the training window. Keep it small, start little and often. Don't worry about the big long walks. Your dog doesn't need them to start with. You can play a lot of brain games with your dogs, okay, to get that enrichment, okay, to get those breed specific outlets. I've got 2 hunting breeds, a Spaniel and a Labrador, and what we do is we use dummies and we use the tennis ball game, and that gives them breed specific outlets. But this is natural outlets that they're getting at the moment. Both their noses are down, they're getting all the sniffs, the smells, all the enrichment of the natural environment. So the training window, keep it small. If you make the window too big, you're going to fail. Training a dog is a process, and if you try to rush that process, then you're going to fail. Macri, come here. Good lad. Where's my boy? Yeah, free dog. There you go. Good boy. So you can see that. 11 months old, look at him already. He's checking in all the time. Macri, come here. Good lad. Good lad. Sit up. Good boy. Free dog. And he gets to go again. So, how do I get that recall? How do I get my dog obeying me? It's all about that training window. One of the other things I wanted to cover was that a lot of people are using this word socialisation to allow their dog to meet lots of other dogs, and they think that's socialisation. Okay? That's not socialisation. If you allow your dog to meet lots of other dogs, if you allow your dog to get lots of attention from other people, your dog will continue to seek attention from people and dogs, and therefore you will sacrifice that obedience that you're after. And that's why your dog starts to get frustrated, and then you call it reactivity, because your dog gets frustrated on a lead because you've allowed it to meet too many other dogs. It will find so much more value in other dogs and other people and less value in yourself. Okay, so that's why, you know, people are using the wrong types of socialisation. It's not about meeting lots of other dogs and saying hello to doggies and saying hello to other people. Like I said, if you allow that to happen, you will sacrifice obedience. The dog will find greater value in those other things. Your dog should have complete neutrality to the outside world, and it should all be about you. All the gameplay should be back with you. All the fuss should be back with you. Thereby, you never sacrifice that obedience. Now, I don't know whether you heard, there was a dog barking in the background, and it was just up to the left, and both my dogs are down here and ignoring them. And we did a video a few weeks ago where both my dogs were sat on this track, okay, and then 2 collies walked past, or they ran past with their owner, and my dogs just sat there and it totally ignored them because they were more interested in what I was doing, putting dummies out, etc. And that's what it was all about. So, come on guys, let's go. Good lad. Come on in. So, think about it, your training window, and secondly, socialisation is not about meeting lots of other dogs and lots of people. It's about making your dog socially acceptable in the environment, i.e. they don't kick off or anything else, and thereby you'll get the dog you desire. So remember, keep the training window small, keep it tight, and follow the process, and you'll get the dog that you desire. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all the recent follows that we've had, and the recent likes, and the interactions that we've had with different people. And we've packed a few clients up out of those videos, and we hope to do a lot more. So thanks for watching, catch you all soon.